Well, hello. Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I am Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and today is part 2 of the Optima pins, and we're picking up with the spoon shaders. I am so sorry we were late. Oh yeah, join with hubby.
Hubcap.
Ah,
I am also here.
you are also here. Sorry, it is running late. My computer decided it was going on strike. Didn't matter how much I yelled at it, hit it, literally. Took forever. Alrighty, so I do have giveaway in both the title, the description, and the thumbnail, and we will definitely discuss that. But let's get through some of these pins first. And the giveaway is for Optima stuff. Yay! So we're gonna get started with I'm letting the smallest spoon shader. So the 23, I don't know what number it is. I'm horrible with that. I'm letting it heat up. Trying to find my tester stuff. And for some reason,
What you need?
I can't find it. Because it's been one of those days. I'm just looking for a piece of birch to test my tips on. Make sure this is birch. No, that is not birch. What in the world is going on? That's okay. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to go straight to the board because we don't have time. Alrighty. So this is the small spoon shader. And it is small. There we go. Looks a little different. I'm going to have to just realize I need to turn off the autofocus. Because, yeah. I'm going to turn off the autofocus. So I'm bumping up to 3.5. This is the very small 23 spoon shader. It looks like a spoon because it is a spoon. Let's get in here. Thought I had everything done, but I forgot. Alrighty. We should be good now. Alright. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see better. Now, things that the spoon shader is good for. Well, first let's do our footprint. So, very similar to when we do the ball tips. This is the basic footprint of this pen. And I would say this is close to the Optima large ball tip, the 19 large. And it is good for lines. We can do some nice smooth lines with this actually. They're going to be thicker. Great for shading. Remember our oval circle shading. There we go. You can use the edge and get a curved line. And actually does it pretty good. There we go. Another good thing for the spoon shaders is writing. These do some pretty darn good writing with these because they're more like using, of course, a pen like the ball tips. But I would say with these it's a little smoother. There we go. And if I bump up the heat because it's 3.5, I'll just bump up to 4.5 so that How about now? How do we sound now? It's showing up on... No, I got audio. I'm seeing audio. I've got audio. Do you guys have audio? I've got audio. Hi, Aaron. Nothing. It takes about 30 seconds. It's showing up. So no sound at all. I'm waiting for them. Okay, it is back. It is back. For some reason, the computer's having major issues, and I'm about ready to do some not so nice things to it. Because it really has me mad. Alright, so the small spoon shader, let me get, let's see here, it's still going to be warm, but if I'm careful, so this is how small, there we go. This tip is, that's our footprint right there, and we are going to go off to the medium. I'm going to go ahead and keep it at 4.5, that way it's even on what we're doing. No video.
Just Teresa.
Oh.
I think. If it's more than Teresa, please let us know. April G says...
Okay.
Video's fine for me.
I am quite stressed. Alright, so here's our medium. I think I grabbed the right one. Yep, this is the medium. Now, your spoon... If you order a spoon shader now, it might look slightly different from mine. The first 3 are my tester pins when I was testing it out. And Pat found an easier and better way to make the pins. They do the exact same thing as what I've got. It's just manufacturing, so they might look different. So we got our footprint. This is close to the extra large. And I'm at 4.5. We can do thicker lines with this. Of course, our shading. I do really good shading. In fact, I need to spend more time with these pens. Turn it to the side, and we do get a nice line. We could do a nice curved line with the flick of our finger, like that. And then writing. This is going to give us thicker lettering, and I can use it kind of on the side, so I'm not using it completely flat. It's kind of angled a little bit. So we get that. So that could do some nice lettering there. Alrighty. Our stippling. I'm just trying to think of different, not so much on, I mean it does stippling, but they're bigger, a little harder to control. I would probably go with the ball tip on the stippling. A little easier control with that. But for lines, shading, and a bit of writing, let's see here. Let's see if I can do name in cursive. I'm using the edge, because if I use the full foot or the full surface of the pen, it will be too thick. Yeah, not bad. I think the 23, the smaller spoon shader, does better on the lettering. Alrighty, let's switch over real quick to the large, and then after that we're on to ball tips. I wanted to keep them kind of close together since the 9s, 19s, and the spoon shaders all kind of, they're family, they're cousins, I guess you could say. We go from very tiny to very large on our footprint, which is very close together. Alright, 23 large, and I haven't adjusted the heat. Remember, our larger pens are going to require a little more heat to get the same tone we were looking for with the smaller pen, because you have more metal to heat up. Totally normal. Alrighty. So we do that. It gives us much bigger. I'm trying to angle it down so I can get the full footprint. There we go. It's actually not too much different between the medium and the large. Here is our lines. It's a little thicker with our lines. We do our shading. Now on our pin lines on the edge, well, it looks maybe, nope, it looks the same. Oh, we can also use them angled up a little bit to do our drawdown versus flat, because that's more uncomfortable. Your hand likes it better up at the angle. And then for writing, I mean, of course you can do letters if you break them in, but just to write with it is not as easy. Alrighty. And that's still at 4.5, so same heat setting as the one above. But because it's more pen, stippling, we would get more dashes than we do dots. Now the extra large is what I've been using on the fox background, and I've really been liking it for that. Grab it. And that would not be the right one. Where'd it go? Don't fight with me. I'm not in the mood. Alrighty, here we go. So this is the extra large spoon shader. So the 23, I'm using letter, small, medium, large, extra large. Pat uses the actual size of, and he has his whole thing. I can't keep up with it, so I'm not going to try. I just embarrass myself. The two largest pins I don't think are on the website yet. You would write them down in the description if you're ordering, or call him. Alright. 23. Again, I have not changed my heat setting. So our footprint on this one is much larger. I would say these two are close, and I'm wondering actually if maybe I have two tester pins, because they're like, other than the heat down here, they're really close. I'll have to check, talk to Pat, see what I got, because this is a big difference in size. And what it is from the extra large 19 ball tip, you would go into your spoon shaders, and so you get bigger, but these heat up better than a ball tip does at different temperatures for the bigger size, as Pat would. He'd use all his special terms. I'm just not gonna try. So we got a thicker line. Our curve line actually, the side line is actually tad thinner than these up here, because it's hammered out, and however he makes it, it's thinner. Great for drawdown. Also does our oval, circle, overlapping strokes. And see, because it's a bigger pen, if I wanted to get the same tonal value, I'd have to up my heat to equal this. And remember, on different woods, they always burn differently. This is birch, so it will look different on basswood, on poplar, on maple, at the different heat settings. So you can write with this, and I know Pat mentioned writing with this. If you're good with writing, it'd probably be easier for you. I'm just not good at it. And there we go. So we got all our footprints, the kind of lines, the kind of oval shading, our side lines, a little bit of writing. And now we can go on. I'm not starting with the ball tips because we are actually going to be incorporating the 9s first. So these are the 3 9s. We've got the 9 PP, the 9MS, and the 9M. We're going to start with the tiny needle one. Now for harder woods, this would probably be good. I don't necessarily like this one, but I haven't really had a situation to use it a whole lot. Oh, I see we're talking about the fox.
Mm-hmm. And Greg hasn't got his XL. Not yet.
Not yet. Alright, so let's write in ball tip. See, going across grain with this pen is hard. So I'm at 4. This is the 9 to PP. And this is what I don't like about it, is going cross grain. Now, if I'm going to do stippling and do small areas, this pen is perfect. Just look at that. We can just get such tiny dots. In fact, I think it's the smallest dots we've seen. But going across grain, like that, it gives, because it's so sharp, it catches the grain. You can use a little sandpaper to wear it down, but I wouldn't recommend it. Then it'd be better to look at the 9MS. So straight lines, going with the grain, totally fine. If we go across the grain with a little pressure, not much, it still skips. We're not looking at any kind of real shading with this pen. Again, the grain grabs it. And for writing, I wouldn't recommend it. This pen is more for if you're doing tiny work, whether it's on beads or on a carving or even flat work, but it's really, really tiny where you really need to get in there. That's what this tip would be for. It is not a general overall purpose pen, in my opinion. It does great on very, 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 very small areas. Alrighty, now the MS. Flip it over. Get my pen back. There we go. So we can see the difference. One's a point, one's a little bit more blunt at the top. So the surface of the 9MS, which is this one, is going to have a little bit larger surface area. Switch or scratch. Alrighty. It writes a little bit smoother. Of course, depends on your wood. The grain still does catch it, but not as much. Our stippling is bigger than what we had with the PP. Our lines are going to be a little thicker. For cross lines, it still grabs, but not as bad. Shading, you can do a little bit more shading in like the tiny areas. If you were working on an eye or something like that, or just something that's really tiny where you just need a little bit of shading, this one would work. Writing is a little smoother, and I'm just doing block lettering, but not much. But it is smoother than the 9PP. And I'm going to switch over to the 9M, which is the modified writing tool. That's the one you'll see me use the most for writing in small areas. To me, it's smoother, so it runs a little better. Oh, my back is killing me. Oh, it's one of those days. Does anybody know Mars is in retrograde? Everybody's quiet.
They're all talking amongst themselves.
Talk to me.
Teresa's considering using the torch on the background.
I thought about it, but remember the torch burns a different color than you're burning. So just take it into consideration. Absolutely do what you feel comfortable doing.
Beryl likes the plain old number 9.
That's more, he doesn't, that's a legacy pen as he puts it. because it gets hotter and doesn't have a choke point like this one does. Alright, so our dots are a little bit bigger. Our lines are just a tad bigger, but going cross grain is smoother. I can shade with this one, especially in small areas. So if I'm working, say, the eyeball or underneath the eyelashes, it's easier for me to get underneath it to shade with this pen. And our writing is again smoother. This pen is a little bit bigger than the 9M on surface. Think of this one more like an extra small ball tip, because what comes right after this one is the 19S. So that's kind of how I think about it, that it is the next size down. Like with our spoon shaded, we have the next size up in ball tip. For these are the bottom, smallest you can get, and then going into the ball tip. This is the 19. Let's see, make sure I am still on the screen. And then here in a few minutes we'll talk about the giveaway. I know that's what people are waiting for. Pat came to me on this. I was actually surprised I didn't ask. He wanted to do it. So I thought that was awesome. So this is the 19S ball tip. Our footprint.
Lana says back pain is the worst. And Teresa wants me to get you an ice pack or a heating pad.
It won't do any good, but thank you. As soon as we're done with the live, I'll take my pain pill and my muscle relaxer and take a nap.
I heated up water for you. Do you want cocoa?
No.
Okay.
Alright, so there's our lines. Thicker than the 9.
Do you want whiskey?
Now that one I might not necessarily say no to. So you can see here we're getting larger and larger now that we're in the ball tips. Ball tips are definitely smoother. It doesn't grab the grain. So great for shading. Lines. I tend to actually sign with the medium, because to me that's the smoothest. So we've got stippling, lines. Oh, I didn't do stippling. It's over here. We got our stippling. We got our stippling, our lines, our shading, and our lettering. Definitely very versatile pens. And with the spoon shaders, it just helps you do a larger area with very similar results. You want to use a pen that's closer to the area you're working. So if you're working a large background, dark background, you want a larger pen for that. Because if you use a tiny one, it'll come out rough, and you'll also put a lot of wear on your pen when you didn't need to. Alrighty, so we've already done the 19M last week. But we're going to go ahead and do it again to put it in here. That way they're all together, just like we did with the 18s, and we're going to do with the Skews. I thought I had calligraphy set up. I didn't. Alright, 19M. To me, this is a much smoother pen. Across grain. So our footprint, slightly bigger than the small. We got our lines, which those are about the same. I have not adjusted the heat, so you can see it's getting lighter as we go. Bigger, great for shading. I use this a lot in small areas. Writing, like I said, I sign my name with this one. It's a little smoother across the grain, a little more even. And here, I've got my letters backwards. Don't know what happened there. Oh well, we'll just do a W here and I'll flip them. And then we got our stippling. Alrighty. Switch over to our large and extra large. I'm trying to go through these rather quickly because there are so many of them. So.
I see that you had your letters back where I didn't.
At DFW. I went to Dallas. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I went to Dallas.
Dallas Fort Worth, huh?
Mm-hmm. Don't know why.
I don't know.
Don't know why. Alrighty. Get a drink of water.
That's what pain does to you.
Actually, it's more frustration with the computer. I've been dealing with pain since '98. So I've learned to refocus most times. I think this has more to do with being frustrated with the computer. Alright, so we got our large ball tip. Again, I have not adjusted the heat. I kind of don't want to because I want you to see how it starts changing just because of the size of the pen, the amount of metal. Alright, our footprint. Our lines. Let me slow down and relax. A little bit bigger. Our cross grain. I'll also do the cross grain on the Skews because you're not always burning with the grain. And of course our shading. Great for around noses, eyes, mouth. In animals, their eyes, short fur. Lettering. I'll get this right. I know who I am. Most time. Alrighty. So we're getting lighter because we're getting bigger in pen in the amount of metal on the pen. Now I may have to go higher on the setting with the extra large because that's a lot of metal on that tip. But I do like how it burns.
Teresa says feel better.
I'll get there.
And if you're having a problem with your chat, just
still?
No, it's just chat sometimes.
Oh.
I have the same problem. If you have a problem with your chat,
I know what they're talking
either
about.
refresh it or close out the chat and reopen it.
Yeah.
And you should start moving again.
I know what they're talking about though. They're wanting to comment for the giveaway, but that's going to be after the YouTube shuts down the live. After I shut down the live, and then allows you to comment on the video.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this, I went ahead and bumped this to 5. You're gonna have to let it heat up a little bit longer because again, more metal. So it doesn't take long. So we got 19 XL, and then you'll be able to see how far we come in size and how different things heat up. Now for the spoon shaders, the one that's the same size is the small, pretty much, but will require less heat because it's a thinner pen.
You have a question?
Yes.
So when changing pins, do you turn off the machine or just pull the pin off and put a new one on?
What you don't see me doing is I will pull off the pin that's turned off and put a new pin on that cord, and then I put the pin I've been using into my holder so it can cool off. I don't pull a hot pin unless I absolutely have to. But because I've got the dual, I don't tend to have to worry about it.
What if you had a single? What would be the proper procedure?
Turn it off. It only takes 20 seconds to cool down where you won't burn yourself. And I'm not so much worried about pulling the pin, and that's how I burn myself. It's putting it down on whatever my holder is and burning it that way.
And I don't know, just from my point of view, I used to have to deal with electronics a lot in my job, and it's never good to disconnect something or reconnect something that's under power. You want to try and have the system off first and then power it, because sometimes that surge will wear the components. So you could have, I don't know, the Optimas are pretty hardy, but I think if you did that over a period of time, if you did it over and over again, you might potentially
Well,
damage.
this side is not on. I've got the other side on.
Yeah, I'm talking about for a single.
For a single, yeah, I would turn it off.
Yeah.
See, this was an off cord, and I'm just flipping it now to this one. While my other pin that I just had out, the 19 extra large, that one is cooling.
Lana is not participating in the giveaway, but she wonders why doesn't it ship to Germany?
Germany is not allowing the Optimas to come in because it doesn't have the CE or the certain code needed for Germany to allow it in. Now, it's not shipping to Germany. Doesn't mean it hasn't been brought into Germany. And I'll leave it at that. You know, if you want to go have a little vacay in France or know somebody in France. But I'm not giving details on that because I don't want to get hit.
They'd probably ship into Poland.
Hint.
They'd probably ship into Poland too. Poland's pretty close.
Yeah.
Or
it should.
Maybe the Netherlands.
Turns out Pat has sent some stuff to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Hey, you can go to the Netherlands and get some good stuff. Chocolate. I'm talking about chocolate.
I'm gonna put the calligraphy pins over here.
Look at windmills and ride bikes.
Wooden shoes.
All
right.
While wearing wooden shoes.
I've only got 2 of the calligraphy pens, and I meant to verify this with Pat because I can never remember if I've got the medium or the small. I wrote it down right after talking to him that I got medium. This one says medium on my phone.
Beryl has to go to an appointment.
Bye,
so she's
Beryl.
going to switch over to her phone, but she says, have a great day.
You too. Alright, I can't remember what number the calligraphy pins are. 16? I had a clue. I guess it went out the window.
So, the calligraphy pens, are they C series because they're calligraphy?
No.
Ah.
That doesn't do it that easy. You kidding me? That would be too easy. Why would Pat do that?
Is it a W for writing?
Nope.
What is it?
I'm trying to get there.
Sorry. People want to know.
I know I'm trying to get there.
Just me.
You want to know. You just want to drive me nuts.
No.
Alrighty. I'm pretty sure it's 16. I need to test these more. So don't judge me on how I use it. Come on.
I don't judge you.
So, small chisel. So the difference with these is it's not a chisel in that it's bent instead of straight. So this is a 16 medium. Let's see. We're going to try to write it with the calligraphy pen. See how that goes. Oh, shoot. I forgot to turn down my heat. 16. And let's see here. We want a thick leg down into thin leg, into thick leg, down into thin leg. See, I told you, I stink at it.
I'm laughing because Lana picked up on the people want to know. She says, people want to know. This guy.
Alrighty, so here's our footprint.
I was just trying to clarify for the people. I was trying to do my job.
This is the footprint of the pen. See, with these, you have to be pretty spot on equal pressure, meaning you touch down evenly. That was a great drawdown. I got these not for calligraphy, but if I was doing a border about this size, it would be nice to be able to do a one drag down even border. And so far, because this is on 4, it's retaining its heat pretty darn good.
You know, I've never seen that pen.
I haven't really used this pen.
It's so square.
It is. And also, we can do it for lines.
The pen's for squares.
It is. See, look how thin we go just by changing the angle. Let's see here. Not so much on our curves.
Hey, Pete.
As expected.
Pete's here.
Hey, Pete. And lines going across.
That's pretty. I imagine
for lions, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah, but there's other ones that are just as thin that don't have that sharp edge and probably is easier to do, like fur and stuff.
This would not be a fur pen. I don't. But I'm looking at it for borders, for buildings, for fences, for what else can we do with this pen?
For square, blocky.
For squares. For mandalas, this would probably be good if you're doing straight lines within them. Let's see here. Let's cross over our burn. See how that looks. Basket weaves. I know he has checkerboard weave. This would be good for. In fact, so if I was doing a checkerboard, I guess I would do this, and then I do all my darks, and then I would have to bump down my heat in order to have better control. So that was at 4, and I'm bumping down 3.
That was at 4?
Or 4.5.
Pretty dark.
I think I said it. So it's a thinner pen.
April says it would be good for bricks on a building.
Bricks on a building. Anything rectangle.
Pete says he's got a lot of video catching up to do. Catch up, Pete.
Catch up, Pete. Been too long. Alrighty.
Oh.
What are you doing? Alright.
She's home.
Oh, okay.
The neighbor.
I'll check Evelyn later.
Let's see.
Alright.
I thought she's coming over here. She was like...
Puppy dog?
Yeah,
Alrighty, so that's the medium. I don't know if he's making the small anymore because it was really flimsy. This does have some flex to it. See, this is the footprint at 3. So big difference. It looks like it requires a little bit more heat to get the darker burn, of course. It's a pen. I would not... I'm going to bump it back up to 4.5 because I want to check to see how smooth we can do oval. It would be good for drawdown burn. Yep, I can do oval, and it's not, the grain of the wood is not catching. Not so much. Okay. So we can do a little shading with this pen. In fact, our drawdown. It's doing a pretty good shadow. I might have to use this pen more.
Good thing you're doing this video then.
The only thing that kind of bothers me is sometimes, I found it more with is a little uneven when you touch down and having to angle the pen so that you have it even. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes it a little harder.
We have a comment from Conform or Be Cast Out. So polished tips are for me. I need some newer instruments and this will be wonderful.
Awesome. In fact, I know what they did there.
Huh?
It's down in the description description of the rules.
Oh.
I had to come up with a saying that I wouldn't necessarily say on screen except for this. So that's why they wrote what they wrote.
Oh. Okay.
Alrighty, this is going to be the extra large, and then we'll go into the Skews. Actually, I'm going to finish the calligraphy, then we're going to talk about the giveaway, and then we'll do the Skews and be done. Skews should be pretty straightforward. I'm doing this one at 4.5. So this one, I'd say, is a little harder to get even. And you can see that with me trying to touch down and trying to rock, it's going to require more heat. We're going to go up to 5.5.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean? It kind of...
I didn't realize that you did that. We
what?
talked about it, but then we didn't circle back around to it.
Yeah, I had to come up with something. So definitely, I mean, it's not the best 6. Oh, there we go. I'd have to practice and train to get... That looks like an IG, but it's supposed to be a 6.
That's okay.
It's supposed to be a 6. Looks like a G. I know it's a 6.
Well, sometimes 6s look like G's, especially when I write them.
Alright,
People are like, is that a G?
Is
that a 6?
So even
an L? What are you trying to say here?
Even at 5.5, this is our footprint.
Do you want the comments in the chat now? Or after the video?
It'll be after the video.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to sit here. Give me a minute. Let me get through this.
Because people are asking right now.
No, not in the video not in the video chat.
Okay.
All right, so draw down.
Conformer cast out. You also leave another comment.
Oh, I'm about to discuss it. Let's just get through this.
Okay. Sheila is discussing in chat. She says she can only comment when you can only comment when the live chat is finished, or just show up in chat. So.
Yep. All right.
That's so we can find it, or so Val can find it. I'm not finding anything.
It does. This is 5.5. I'm not used to a pen burning this light at 5.5.
It's a lot of
but
metal.
It's actually kind of nice.
A lot of metal.
It is a lot of metal to heat, to stay in contact.
It's very uniform.
It is very uniform. Great for borders.
And like she said, bricks.
Yeah.
You want to do bricks, especially if that
It'd
size.
be quicker. Let's see here. So that's the thinness of our cross the chisel line. I wouldn't recommend burning, as in drawing down this way. Need to have the pen flipped.
It's interesting that the shape of the stroke on that is more of it's a dagger stroke on each end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of unusual, isn't it?
It is. This is kind of cool.
Huh.
Your steps.
So you could make.
You can make steps. Watch.
Yeah.
Ooh. I haven't played with this pen enough. Look at that.
Have you played with it at all?
Once.
Look
at that. Look at those steps. I haven't lifted the pen. I'm just... Look at that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Great patterning with this one.
Pete says it looks like you're using a lot of pressure.
Let me see. I always grab my pen tight. I've always been a tight grabber of pens. Pencils since I was a kid. Pressure on the wood? No. How I'm gripping the pen, because that's what I do, yeah. I always have to try to remind myself to relax.
I've loosened up. I used to be the same way. I've loosened up over the years. I still am sometimes, but
your hand's different.
But my hands are shaky, especially my left hand.
And that's when I'm also
because it looks like this.
Like long. I am trying to keep this steady, and my wood's not completely flat because I've got on my easel and it's propped. Wow, but like pressure into the wood, no. I'm trying. The pressure you're seeing is just me grabbing the pen. I like this. I'm trying to think what other patterns this would be good for. Bricks, fencing, borders. Oh, I want to check some. Let's see here. Sometimes you can do a one stroke something. So I'm wondering if I can make anything.
Conformer cast out wants to know if the tips hold higher heat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They do, but it's not necessary to get the darker burns. It's because of the way the pins are designed. More efficient heat transfer. You're not losing energy. That's why your pins don't heat up. By the way.
What's that?
Because it's more efficient. You're not losing heat through the cord and through the handpiece because the connections are good. So the heat's going where it's supposed to, as opposed to getting leached off through connections.
That is the lower heat settings. When it's higher, like I can feel a little warmth, but I'm also set at 5.5. But the way I hold it, It's not hot for me.
I'm just saying, other hand pieces
Yeah.
heat up.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty. I'm going to use these pins more because look at that patterning. Wow. So, the 16s are great for patterns, for lines,
paintbrush,
borders, texture. You could do shading with them. I wouldn't go crazy with the shading. You've got other pins for that. But actually...
Lana wants to know if you could make petals with this too.
That's what I was trying to do here. I would need to practice. That's what I was trying to do, was petals. I'd have to practice with it. I'm sure I would probably rather do petals with the spoon shaders, actually.
Greg has to keep reminding himself to push in the wood less. And
Yeah.
let the heat do the work.
Let the heat do the work. What you're seeing is me grabbing onto the pin, not...
Aaron Smith says that might work nice for waterfalls.
Yeah.
Arlene
Rocks.
Romeo says, I'm liking what the 16L pin can do. I'm guessing that Pat's going to have a run on 16Ls.
Probably.
Be like, what the hell's
Alright,
going on?
so that's the large and that's the medium. And I will talk real quick about the giveaway.
Yep.
So we can get that done.
And can farmer be cast out? Says, thanks, my current tool handle gets extremely hot. If you talk long enough to the toasties, they'll fill you in on Optima. But
me?
Yeah. I'm just saying in chat.
Yeah.
She'll probably get, I don't know, she or he will get filled in on Optima probably before this is over.
Yeah.
But there's videos.
Okay, so the giveaway. It runs for a week. As soon as this live is ended and you can start commenting in the videos of this video, this live video on replay, comment in there. How did I write it? Polished tips are for me. Polished tips are for me. And the purpose of this is so I know who wants to be, even though I'm doing the YouTube random generator, so I know who wants to be in the giveaway. It is international. There are some countries listed down below that are exempt from it. And since it's U.S. Postal Mail.
Do you want it listed? You want me to talk?
No.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get through this. Alrighty, first prize is a dual Optima burner with 2 cords.
What?
2 pins of your choice.
What?
Or, if you already own the dual and don't want it, $200 Optima credit, so you can pick.
What?
I think it comes out to something like 8 pins. This also, that $200 also, whether it's for the dual or whatever Optima merchandise you want, also includes up to $40 shipping. What it does not include is if you're in a country that does customs, fees, taxes, any of that, you have to pay the customs, duty, taxes, fees, however your country does it. If it's an international winner, if it's a U.S. winner, you don't have to worry about it. Second prize is 4 pins. Everything still applies, up to $40 shipping. And it's 4 pins or $100 Optima credit if you've already, and the pins are of your choice. I didn't pick any pins. Pat hasn't picked any pins. They're pins of your choice, or up to $100. $88 plus shipping is for the pins. That's what's in the $100. You're not paying shipping. If you're out of country, you're paying customs fees and or taxes, however your country does it. And third prize is 2 pins, which is a $60 credit through with Optima. You get to choose your pins. Shipping is included. You pay the customs fees, taxes, but. And what I'm going to do is leave it open for a week of you commenting on this video, the one we're doing right here. And then next week's live at noon, we will... Why did I do noon? We're only running for an hour. Well,
That's
at noon. It's at the end of the live. At noon, we will do YouTube random draw for the 3 winners.
So this is why you're on the phone. You're hooking the toasties up this morning.
Well, Pat was hooking them up.
Yeah, but...
I was just making sure I had all the information correct because I'm hosting the giveaway.
Yeah, but
Pat is doing the giveaway.
Yeah, but it was your idea, right?
No, it was Pat's. Pat came to me on this one.
Oh,
this
okay.
was not a me thing.
Okay, well
Pat
that's awesome.
did it. He wanted to give away and show appreciation, and so he came and asked me if I would like to do it.
So now what's interesting or cool about this is that this is a giveaway for Toasties. So
You must be subscribed to the channel too.
So this
Please.
is showing
Please,
the
please,
love.
please.
Optima is showing the love to
Yes.
Toasties.
Optima is showing, Pat is showing the love to the Toasties.
What if Bernadette wants to enter?
Bernadette cannot enter because
What?
Bernadette lives in the studio.
Have you entered?
I have not entered. I got most of the pins. We were asked last week. I wrote it down and now I forgot. How many pins did I end up getting? 46?
Good Lord.
Was it 46
Yeah,
different?
it's 46.
Alright. Alright.
And you got a backup pin at.
I did.
Because you spent your winnings down at the show. Which I think it's funny because you have a backup pin, but the Optimas are so reliable that you probably never.
I
use
probably
them.
won't. Well, I can at least pack it up and do it for demos.
Yes,
All right.
Greg. Imhotep. Optima. Optima.
Yep. Alrighty, so we're moving on to Skews. We're starting with the 17 SR. We talked about it at the beginning of last week's live stream. This is my modified coarse fur tip. We got our lines. We got our curves. Our footprint is this. If I just tap down, that's the footprint. That touches the wood all at once. That's what I mean by it. Great lines can go cross grain without getting caught. Does do some writing. If you're better than I am, you probably can do better than I do on this, but we can get writing, and I'm at 4.
No, Pete, 46, not 146.
No.
146 is the number of pens that Val has in this studio.
Well,
From all the burners?
from all the burners. From all the
maybe.
burners. Alright, so that's the 17 SR. I wanted to focus on the curves because I'm flicking and turning, flicking and turning.
So April G says the 17SR is the one that she was wanting to see. It's on the list of interest.
Yep, there it is.
And
V-cut tip. This is the 17 that is shown on the website. And the foam looks different because this is an older pen. So that's how you can see the difference between the two. Alright, let's switch over because I know we're late. Because I was late. Because the computer was a butthead. But we will get through these. We will get through these.
how many more we got?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more pins after this one.
Oh, and now you gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, take go fast, please. Then you'll have to say bye to them.
What?
But then you'll have to say bye, so you gotta come
I'll
back.
be back.
Be back.
They'll miss me.
They'll miss you.
It'll be okay.
We'll
be
live.
back.
We'll live.
Don't
Oh,
despair.
Go,
I'm just a hubcap.
Yeah.
I'm the one that spins around.
Oh, what I didn't discuss, what we did discuss last week is I can shade. I'll go back to that tip.
Don't talking about me.
Oh, that's no fun. You can do a little shading with the 17s as well. So this is the 17 straight. The same lines. See, the lines really don't change. Now, curving is simpler with the modified. I'm not having to move my fingers as much to get that curve, and that's what I wanted. Our footprint is a little bigger with this one. There we go. We can write, do straight lines, but a little harder. So again, our curve lines, I have to move more of myself to make it curve. Now on both of these you can flip over the tip and you can use that corner at an angle and you can shade in small areas, that way you don't have to switch out pens. I don't know that I would use this as my standard shader, but I can definitely get in there and do some shading. Let's see here. On our drawdown, this angle is not bad. Not bad. I can get a little stare action going. So I could do that with this pen. With the other Skews that I'm going to show you, I would not recommend doing that. But I can do some shading with this. Again, I'm not pressing hard into the wood, but I am gripping hard, trying to keep steady. Alrighty, that's a 17. We are moving. Now we are going on to, oh, I moved my thing, to the 12. These are to the 12s. Actually, one's a 4. So this is the small 12. This is a very thin pen. This is the thinnest pen that I have. Now with the smaller one, this is smaller to get, of course, into small areas, but also it has a little bit more flex, so it's easier to turn a little bit. So you don't see me use this one often. But if I try to write with it, it's not the best. I don't use a lot of Skews. There we go. So this, I'm gonna have to use something else to write with it because I don't want to break this pen. All right, so very thin. It is kind of going into the grain, kind of indenting a little bit, even when I'm not pushing. I can definitely get small strokes. Cross grain, let's get in there. Sorry. Cross grain does not catch, so that's good. This would be great for the very thin tree branches, grass, whiskers, some fur, small lines on buildings, architectural details. Here's my footprint of this pen. So this is just touched down what I get. Drawing wise or writing wise, I do not recommend. No, I don't recommend using this pen. This is our curve. Yeah, I don't recommend that one for writing. I mean, if you're just doing straight blocks, I guess, but and you can use the tip. You could do tiny stippling in a very small area. I would not do this for a large area, and I wouldn't recommend having the pen flat. Yeah.
Aaron Smith has struggled with ESR.
It might take a little practice getting used to it, especially when you're using the other pens as well. What has she been having problems with?
I don't know. Aaron says the only pens that she has are the 17R, the 3B, and the medium spear. The spear she loves, and she wants a small and large now. Mm-hmm. The round, she started using it for more. Carmen Pelletier? It's either Pelletier
she's
or
in the
Pelletier.
group.
I don't know.
She's in the group.
Hello there, from snowy Alberta. So it's probably Pelletier.
Yeah. Alright, this is our 12 large.
Finally see you live.
Finally.
Let's see. Teresa, hang on. I know I'm just catching you up. Tracy's spear shaders the most. Everybody's saying hi to Carmen. Arlene Romeo wants to know, is a photo of the board with all the demos going to be posted in the group to be used as a reference?
If you want.
Okay.
If you want.
And now you're caught up.
Now I'm caught up. Okay.
Well, I had to catch you up while I was gone.
Does great on cross. Now you notice this is a bigger pen. I haven't adjusted my heat. I'm still at 4. It's burning a little hotter than the small did for the same setting. I don't like it so much for curves, but for straight lines, it would be the same as the 12S. So architecture, Branches. You could get some branches. Yeah. In fact, it might do branches better because it's a little angle different. So you'll get some thick and thin, which will feel more natural. So it wouldn't be bad for branches. You could do it with some fur. There's pens that are better for the fur. Thin lines, grasses. That's what we got. Last pen, I believe this is actually the number 4. I just got it recently, so.
Number 4?
Yep,
I've never even heard you talk about that.
Because I'm not a big skew person. I know there's some people that love skews. I'm just not a big skew person. I'll go ahead and heat it up while I look at the number, just to make sure I tell you the right thing. And I think because, it could be the 11. Actually, I think it's the 11, which is the medium skew. Good thing I looked, or would I have the wrong number? Yeah, well, no, it's the 11. Because this has more of the angle. The 4 has less of an angle. So this is the 11 and our last one. I've got it at 4. I need to figure out how to, I'm going to put the pound sign so we know this is the number 11. There we go. So these are the lines that we get with it. Lines aren't bad. You could use lower heat with that. Fine on the cross grain. And if you're doing cross hatching to build up texture, that's how you're shading. That works pretty good. This is me moving quickly. See, that's another thing, is to see pin thickness on moving fast. So that's with grain. Against the grain. It's even thinner. It does do curve lines, but we can see where I kind of tweak my hand a little bit. It digs into the wood. It makes that thicker. I wouldn't write with it. It can be too brittle. See, I could use the tip for stippling, which would be tiny. So this would be good definitely for architecture. Lines. What else? You wouldn't want to shade this way with it because you could break the pen. But you can do it. I wouldn't do it. You can see the color. That's how a new pen comes. That's the color it looks when it's new. I haven't used it before. I think he recently sent it to me because he knew I was doing these videos. So he recently sent it to me because I was like, well, I don't have that one.
Kay Schneider wants to know what's your favorite for writing.
My favorite for writing? It means I gotta do writing. For signing my name, I use the 19M. If out of all this, let me back that out so we can see. I got all these marks. There we go. Some more at the bottom.
You have other questions?
Okay. For writing, I use the 19M. The 2 medium and large 19s for just regular thin writing. All right, next question.
So Carmen is saying that she's doing animals, a lot of bears and dogs. That she finds that she can do the majority work with 3 pens. Do you use many pens while doing a piece?
Depends on the piece, but not often. Once I work out a couple of pens that I like the burning the most, I tend to stick with them. Like the Fox. The background of the Fox has only been the 23 extra large spoon shader and the 18S. The Fox in general has been 23S or extra large, 18S, and 18 large. I haven't used anything. And the 9M, but that was just to get into small areas.
So do you do that for every piece then? Or do you select like a small selection of pens?
No, I don't hinder myself. I use whatever works best. If it happens to be 4 pins or 5 pins, because the detail and the subject I'm doing has a lot of stuff in it. So if it had a building in the background and a person and this and that, I might use more pens. It just depends on what I'm doing.
Okay.
I don't have to. I've got the pins. I might as well use them.
Teresa wants to know, so when we're going to go from fur to feathers, what pen to use?
Fur to feather.
Because aren't we doing the owl? I say we.
Yes, the owl starts
I'm just
next.
Here.
Yeah.
You all.
The owl starts next week. And I will probably, I'm looking at my board, for the feathers, I will probably use the 18 small a lot. 18M a lot, because that's got an even thinner stroke than the S. I will probably use a ball tip, probably the extra large for the dots in the bird. I'm guessing, because once I get started, then I have, because every pen burns differently, feels differently on the wood. I'll be hopefully using the basswood, so the pins will burn differently on the basswood than they do here on the birch. At this point, all I can go off is my portrait. I'll probably use the 18 medium and large, or small and medium. The either the 19M or the 19L for the eye. And that may be about it. Maybe the 2B is going to be mainly the 18S and L. Small pins for smaller areas. I should be able to get most of the small areas with the 18S. And then anything after that will be probably the 9M or the 19M. So my set will cover pretty much, my 4-pin set will pretty much cover at the small 18M or 18S.
Yeah.
And so that 5 pins should be able to cover everything. I have no plans yet. I don't know what the pins. I need to sit down and make my pattern so I can see how everything's laying out. And then as we start working next Tuesday, I'll have a better idea.
I think probably they're asking in case they need to order stuff.
Yeah.
So,
that's what I was thinking.
Pete, I just read you're using Skews for making fine detail, adding slight shade, good for detail and armor and stuff. What are you burning that has armor on it? I want to see this because that's cool stuff.
I still probably wouldn't use a Skew. I'd probably use the 18 for the owl picture. I'm not doing patterns for anybody because it's just a lot more to do. The pattern picture is on Pixabay, but in the group, I have under the announcements, it's the second announcement down under this live video that has the link for the photo.
So Teresa says she needs new glasses after doing fox fur. Spence says, don't forget to like. We'll get thank you, Spence.
Like, subscribe if you want to be part of, and leave the polish tips are for me in the comments, not the chat, the comments of this video.
Conformer recast out, aka Angel is her name.
Angel? Okay.
Wants to know if the Optima one has dual handle capabilities. What do you mean? Or dual pin? You mean dual pin?
Optima 1 is because a long time ago Pat had an Optima 2, which was a burner on one side and a carver on the other. Now there's only Optima 1s. There's the single and dual. Dual has 2 pins. The Optima 1 single has 1 pin. You can never run 2 pins at the same time. It's only 1 pin because you have to switch back and forth. No brand runs a dual pin at the same time. You wouldn't want it anyway.
Because there isn't anybody currently that it can just burn like this.
That too. That too. I wouldn't even want to try at this point. So, Optimal one is both single or dual. They're 2 different price points, 2 different burners.
Okay. Lana says she likes that you don't limit yourself. Your work is amazing. Love the self-portrait.
Thank you.
Can I just say, at the show, when we deliver the
That
art,
was embarrassing.
she gets embarrassed, but so the portrait was so distinct that you could see it across the convention center. And what I thought was cool was that because the pyrography pieces for, that section, they were all grouped together, and people would come down through, and they could see that they were coming up to the portrait, and they were like drawn to it. They'd be like trying to check out other pieces, but they kept glancing over to the portrait because they wanted to get there and see it. So it really was very distinct. It was a crowd pleaser, I think. And then was it the two guys that were there? They
were there when we first walked in.
Yeah, they're like, "Are you the artist?" And then they're like, "Oh, it's you."
They were doing this.
Yeah.
And one guy took a picture of the art of my portrait and then of me.
Yeah. And which is good, because if your self-portrait looks like you, then that's always good, right? So.
I see Carmen's asking about basswood. Basswood is in Canada. I'm trying to see if it has a different name for it. In Canada, you'll find basswood growing in Manitoba to Brunswick, New Brunswick. Tilia Americana. I know Burl gets it all the time. I'm just trying to see, because like in the UK, I think it's linden is another name for basswood. They have different names for it. Keela might have to correct me on that one. But basswood in Canada is basswood, as far as I know, as far as I'm seeing.
So on the finished pieces, like with the fox and stuff, do you want people to post which tips that they used?
Sure, if they want to.
Does it matter though?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Jerry wants to know if there's going to be an owl pattern.
No, the photo. I already got
just
that
the photo?
one.
Okay.
Yeah, just the photo. Everybody's doing their own pattern because they know what information they need versus the information I need. So you've got the photo. Do it on. I would download the high resolution photo, because you can always make a photo smaller and not lose detail. But if you do download a small version of the photo and then try to make it bigger, you'll lose detail. It'll get fuzzy. Yep, linden. Okay. So I'd go with large. Lime.
Basswood is lime in UK.
No, Sheila says it's linden.
Linden.
Limewood. Just saw someone use them.
Lindenwood? Limewood?
Linden. That's the problem. The woods all have different names. So I don't know. Why can't we all use the same names?
Same reason why we have the metric system and.
We don't have metric. We're imperial.
What?
We're imperial.
We use it?
Well, we use it, but only if you're uncool do you use the metric system.
In the military, I was cool. Don't laugh at me. Don't you laugh at me.
All right.
You use kilometers every day.
Okay. And you still get lost. But if I give you miles, you understand.
I'm a scout.
Yes, and you get lost in an empty parking lot.
No, roads are no good. I can navigate through a forest in a helicopter. Oops. I can navigate over a forest in a helicopter.
Yeah, because we use a helicopter.
But when we get in a city and there's interchanges and stuff, that goes against the rules of nature.
Alrighty. So the giveaway in the comments, polish tips are for me. Don't forget to hit like, be subscribed. Shipping is included, up to $40 on the internet for if you're one of the winners. We will do the drawing next week. It will be a YouTube random comment picker. So you've got to leave a comment if you want to be included in the random pick. And I think that's it. We start the owl next week. I got all the pins that I got. Can you think of anything else? Because, of course, as soon as we end, I'll be like, damn it! I forgot this.
I can't think of anything.
I dropped my stool and I was trying to pick it up with my feet.
I
Okay,
want
we're
to say,
done.
I know people already, congratulated you.
Yeah.
But I want to say, I was very proud of Valarie.
Oh, thank you.
Because she walked into the competition and she won all of the big ribbons, all the big rosettes, except for the best of, because that's harder to do because she's competing against like really large pieces and carvers, which is the main focus of the show.
Yeah.
You did get best of that one time though.
2016.
So that's neither here nor there. You walked in with 5 pieces, walked out with 8 ribbons.
Yeah.
And pretty much swept it. And then next year you're in open class.
No, I get advanced 1 more year at least.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna do a big piece.
Wait. Oh, I don't understand.
This big.
There's rules. You should be in open right now.
No, it's up to 5 blues.
You've got 5 blues.
Oh, I've got more than 5 blues.
Exactly. So.
But it's the big ribbons. And I don't think I have. I think I'm at 3.
Well, we'll see where they put you next year. But
they can move me.
Yeah, but so that's not really up to you.
No.
But yeah, you've been moving up steadily every year because that's
I'm gonna do a big piece. I'm gonna do this big. All right, I'm so done. My brain is just like pew 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 pew. Do we have any more questions? Thank you so much. My brain is fried.
I'm gonna make you a hamburger.
Ooh, hamburger.
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 Can I have tater tots?
Sure.
All right, if we don't have it.
Awkward moment. Well, I don't know. Let me read comments.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
True top corner. Nice job. Metric system comments. Kilometers is so much easier, Lana.
Oh, okay. So lime is basswood in the UK. Linden is poplar. Alrighty. I think we're done.
Okay, yep.
My brain
Looks like
needs to stop.
Yes, it does.
Pew, pew. Abel fills me. Pew, 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 pew.
We should probably go.
I don't have any sugar. Oh, I'm hurt.
I offered you cocoa.
I know you did. Okay, guys. Next week's drawing and live owl. We will start our owl. If you're watching on the replay and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a community project. Down in the description is the Drawing with Fire Pyrography group, and we're doing monthly burn-alongs with each other. And this month is the owl.
Awesome.
For March. Alrighty, guys. Hopefully next week the computer will be better. We'll be on time. And we got this. Don't forget, you're awesome. You can do this. You're a pyro artist. Happy burning, guys. Bye. Where are we at? There we are.